everybody, it's Aaron here with Robert. I'm still in space, still self-quarantining. Robert's still at mission control. I'm waiting for him to push the button to send me back. I don't know. Wait.
The button's broken. Sorry, you're
What do
going
you
to
mean
be
it's
stuck up
broken?
there. I mean, it's broken. I don't have a way to fix it. Sorry, you're the only one that knew how to fix it, and you're gone. So
I hate you so much.
enjoy space.
I hate you so much. You know what? I will. I'm gonna find the silver. I'm gonna just call Galactus and just tell him to come to Earth. Maybe he'll drop me off or something.
Yeah, because that's what Galactus does. He acts like a taxi service.
He'd be like, yeah, if you could just tell me where Earth is at, and I'm like, yeah, man, look, I'll take you right to it.
Perfect.
And then I'll be like, that's
he
good.
won't take advantage of that fact at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
On the plus side, you basically get to be a herald of Galactus in this situation.
I do. I hope I get a surfboard.
No, I think you're going to be like Terrax.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Big old axe, and then just be a big, be a big and bulky. I'm okay with that. I can live with that, guys. So welcome to Talkin Geek, our news segment. I can talk today. News segment for news for the week, where we talk about all geeky type topics. You know, if you're on our podcast, thank you for listening. Of course, if you go to our YouTube channel, official GYGO, you can see all the stuff that we do throughout the week. We do reviews. The most recent ones we're doing right now is of WandaVision. We have our segments throughout the week where we do different little things. So go check those out if you are listening to us on the podcast. If you are here on YouTube, thank you for watching with us. And remember to, like and subscribe. And of course, comment below on any of the topics. Let us know what you think. And, maybe we can comment and keep the conversation going.
And make sure and join our Facebook group too, because we talk a lot about different topics. We have polls. We have, just a lot of community engagement over there. So make sure and join our Facebook group too.
Exactly. Do that. So go do it and watch this video at the same time, or just listen to us because you don't need to see our faces. I'm in space anyway. You're not going to see me for a while.
But we are both beautiful men. So.
Aww. He said I'm beautiful. That was the first time I've heard that in years.
I mean, it was a lie, but
Aww.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my ex told me that too.
Ouch.
So guys, let's kind of jump into it. We all like to have fun and do this. So let me get out of my space suit stuff over here. So there's not a lot of news, but there's a lot of news. It's kind of interesting. I feel like
yeah.
We talked a minute ago. We're like, there's not a lot, and then we started looking, and we're like, okay, there's kind of a lot, kind of not. The one
it feels like there wasn't a lot of big news, but there's a lot of small nuggets.
Exactly. And the first one, I just want to get it out of the way because we both hate this idea, the Snyder Cut. We both hate it, and I just want to say it comes out March 18th. Happy with that if whoever wants to see this movie. I'm not happy to see this.
The most interesting thing about this date to me is that this is the day before the Falcon and Winter Soldier debuts on Disney Plus, which is March 19th. So they're kind of going straight head to head with that. Now, obviously that's a show, and we assume that that's going to be just episodic, week to week, kind of like what they've done with The Mandalorian or now with WandaVision. Really interesting that, that's coming out that day before, which means I think it's coming out on a Thursday. This is the long awaited and finally now come to fruition full version of Zack Snyder's vision of Justice League. It's going to be almost 4 hours, they've said. It is going to be released as a movie, not as a mini series, which it was kind of reported that it was going to be a mini series of like 4 1-hour episodes. Nope, it's coming out in one big block, one movie. You and I, we've talked about not necessarily being too excited about it. I am going to watch it.
We're going to.
I am going to hope that I enjoy it. I will say that Zack Snyder's director's cut of Watchmen I like better than the theatrical cut. Zack Snyder's version of Batman v Superman, that is the extended cut, I like better than the theatrical cut. I still don't think it's a great movie, but I think it's better than the theatrical cut. It'll be really interesting to see because this is just going to be a totally different version of Justice League, because we know that movie was stitched together and mostly done by Joss Whedon. And so it'll be interesting to see how much changes, because we're now getting, Zack Snyder's Justice League, which we didn't get, a few years ago.
Yeah. I'm done with it. Don't care enough. It's not going to change my opinion of the DC universe. It's not going to make me think, oh yeah, and all of a sudden I'm going to go watch all your movies because you're still not doing great.
Yeah, I think DC needs to stop trying to do the MCU.
Yeah,
and I think they just need to focus on their movies. Stop trying to tie everything together. If they want to make another Justice League movie, make another Justice League movie, but don't pretend like it has to follow the events of, the other. It's like, just stop trying to connect it all, because you're not good at it and you're not Marvel. And
and that's the truth, and that's the funny thing is their live action movies suck compared to Marvel, but their animation movies, all their animation, I love watching DC animation over any Marvel animation. I watch our Marvel animation now and I'm like, this is garbage. But I'll watch DC and I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. But because they don't have to do everything.
I just this week finally got around to watching Red Sun. And I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
It's a cool adaptation. An interesting take on what would happen if, Superman had landed in, the Soviet Union in the 1940s instead of, in a farm in Kansas. And a really interesting take on that. And so, I think DC has a lot of interesting ideas, and they just have struggled a lot with the execution, especially in live action.
And they'll get it. But yeah, done with Snyder Cut. Be happy, people. Be happy you're getting what you want.
Guess what? We'll watch it and we'll review it, and at least I will watch it with an open mind and the opportunity to be swayed. Aaron maybe has already said no, but I will watch it with eyes on. Maybe I'll enjoy it, and maybe I'll look forward to more DC stuff. But
this is how I'm gonna watch it, and then I'm just gonna pass out. Because I'm
gonna 4 hours is a long 4 hours is a long time.
It's like watching Lord of the Rings.
I am not going to be watching it in one sitting.
No,
that much
not
I
at
will
all.
tell you.
Not at all. Same. I'm not. So let's do this quick one. I think this one's a little bit. It's still staying with HBO. HBO had a few things that dropped. Game of Thrones animated series is in early development for HBO Max.
Yeah, I saw that.
They are capitalizing on that series, and it was the first, I think, like 5 seasons are pretty much amazing to everybody. I think there's a lull with 6 through 7 or 6 through 8 or something like that.
Yeah, there's a total of 8 seasons. So I think that generally everybody loves, really the first 5 seasons. And then episode 6 is where you start to lose, or season 6 is where you start to lose some people. I still really liked it. Even all the way up until the end. I thought season 8 was the weakest season. It's not a good way to go out and end a show, with your weakest season. They did not necessarily stick the landing. Yeah. But I still do think that overall it was still a very good show. It had a lot of, good stuff in it. And we already know that there is a prequel series that is on its way that is 300 years before, about the Targaryens kind of rising to power and I think kind of fighting against one another a little bit too. I think is really what that's going to be. So we shouldn't really have any characters in that show that we have met before. On top of that, then we got news that they were developing a Tales of Dunk and Egg, which is 100 years before the current timeline, the current Game of Thrones timeline. That is based on novels by George R.R. Martin. And then this one, which we have really no details about being an animated show, but the fact that it's potentially an animated show makes me think that it might be with characters we already know, and that they just they aren't going to necessarily get the live action actors back. And so the way to kind of get around that is to do it in animated form. You can find voice actors that can, be very similar to what they sound like.
Cost-effective.
Very cost-effective. And so it'll be interesting to see, is this maybe stories that didn't get explored fully in the show? So maybe it's hey, this is what was going on. Well, this was happening in season 3, this was happening on the other side of, is it going to be that? Is it going to be a sequel? Is it going to be a prequel? We don't really know. I think that, again, there's not a whole lot, but I mean, again, I like the world of Game of Thrones, so I'm interested to find out what's in store, and if they decide to greenlight this. Early development means a lot of things. It does not mean that it just means that somebody at HBO Max has been talking about it and saying, hey, I think I've got an idea that we could do this.
Someone said, let's fund this, and they said yes.
So whether it actually ever comes to our screens or not, we don't really know.
Nope. I mean, and HBO has declined to make any comments right now. So
yeah. So we'll see what happens. If it comes out, I'm sure I will, give it a chance and see if I enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. Me too. I'll watch it. I think I need to finish up on Game of Thrones. I think I'm like 2 seasons still that I need to finish. But I'm going to watch them eventually. Yeah. Sticking with HBO, the one last piece of news that has dropped is they are finally bringing a Harry Potter TV series to HBO.
I saw this. I saw this too. A live-action Harry Potter series. And they haven't said whether it's going to be a limited series or an ongoing series. And they also haven't said, who it's going to center on. Again, this is another one that's like early development. They haven't necessarily said, that it's officially coming or what it's going to be about. I will say, as the resident Harry Potter fan on Get Your Geek On, I'm not excited for this, mainly because I think outside of the books and that storyline, I think that the more things that have been explored in Harry Potter world, I haven't enjoyed them as much. The Cursed Child play that got written. I've read the script for that. I've read I don't really care for it. I've heard the show is like amazing to actually go to. And see, and that it's really cool, all the things that they do with it. But the actual storyline of it, I'm not a fan. The Fantastic Beasts movies, I'm not a fan. And so I'm just not necessarily excited for this. Again, I love Harry Potter, so if it comes out, I will at least give it a chance and try and watch it. But that last Fantastic Beasts movie, especially number 2, really turned me off to the point that I don't really want to see the third one. And I don't think I ever would have expected to say I don't want to see anything Harry Potter related. Yeah, exactly. Because I am such a big fan of the books. And so, they did a lot of work to turn me off.
It took a lot, but we did it. That's something to be proud of, Warner Brothers.
Yeah, we'll see if HBO Max is able to pull me back.
See, let's just say this. Warner Brothers, keeps you away from Harry Potter. They did it right. They were like, we got rid of one fan. And then they were like, oh, you don't want to be a DC fan? We're going to make sure you're never going to be a DC fan for me. And I want to love DC. I want to love their stuff. And now they did their job.
Warner Brothers is in the business of losing fans. That's what they're trying to do. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, it's working. They lost 2. So it's working perfectly. Good plan, Warner Brothers. Let me know when y'all make billions off of this idea. So
as the person who is not a Harry Potter fan, you're super excited for this show.
Oh, yeah. Extremely. So excited. You could see how the look on my face has changed, and my expression now shows excitement.
What if it's like R-rated and we get like people exploding each other with their wands?
Okay, I'm in. I want to see Hermione like just blow people up randomly.
Frank Castle is a wizard.
I mean, he was a Sorcerer Supreme, so I'd be down for this.
Hey,
he did it once. He could do it again. Frank can come back. Just John Berthenol busts the door in and just like start shooting everybody with the wand.
Exactly.
I'm okay with this. I'm on board now. Thank you. And then just Aquaman just is randomly sitting there in the background just for no reason.
Aquaman? Where did that come from?
Because he's Aquaman. He's useless.
Different universe.
Yeah, he's just useless. So he's just there being useless still.
Okay.
It's like, okay, well, at least he's canon. He's now just useless. So moving away from that. So I want to take a step back.
Okay.
Back to the early 2000s to where nothing's really geeky had dropped yet. We had the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, so like our big thing at the time. That was about it. X-Men, right? I guess X-Men was early 2000s, right?
The first X-Men came out in 2000. Yep. We got in Blade in like 98. Obviously, we'd had Batman and Superman movies from like the 70s, 80s, 90s. But yeah, I mean, in the early 2000s, it was X-Men and it was Spider-Man for sure. Those were the big franchises.
That was your big thing. So taking us back to 2000, a network comes out that no one really, I think, thought was going to go anywhere. I honestly don't think so. I think they thought it would maybe go somewhere, and it finally did with certain people. G4. G4 comes out in early 2000. Their two biggest shows were X Play with I just blanked on his name. That's gonna really upset me. So let me actually start with the other show. So they also had Attack of the Show, which Attack of the Show starred Kevin Pereira as your main host, and through a course of different hosts, eventually landing Olivia Munn as the main host, and it was going to be her. Like, it was them two. And then they had X Play, which was the other one I was trying to get to, which was Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb. Those two were like the main ones. They had other hosts, other people came and went when those two were busy. Same with Attack of the Show. When one of them were busy, they'd have other people. And G4 ran for a while.
Yeah, I didn't really watch it. I didn't really follow it. I was aware of its existence, but it was not something that I ever really watched or followed.
Yeah, I mean, I did because, again, this is where, for me, like, where it started. Like, you got your gaming news, you got, like, geek stuff. They talk about technology, new tech coming out, and this is all early 2000s. And so G4, okay, so it officially ended on December 31st, 2014. That was the official end date when it was done with everything. They were essentially bought out by Esquire, and Esquire took over. I don't know if that counts the Esquire time frame or not, but Esquire owned G4, and they stopped. Everything else stopped. Attack of the Show had stopped. X-Play had stopped. Everything had stopped. Now we're going to fast forward to 6 more years, or actually 5 more years. No, where are we? 2021. I was trying to skip 2020, but I couldn't. I just remembered I had to add that in.
I gotcha.
So in the end of 2020, about mid-2020, we get news G4 is coming back. November of 2020, we get information that a reunion, essentially, and I had Kevin Pereira. I think it had Morgan Webb. I think it had Adam Sessler. I think we also had Aaron. I forgot his last name. I mean, we all know I'm terrible with names. I just all the whole cast of everyone that's been there. So now, before they return to TV in the summer, their relaunch, official everything relaunches in the summer. They actually are on YouTube and Twitch right now. So they're streaming a weekly show called B4G4, and that'll be ahead of the relaunch this summer. And so essentially, I guess it's gonna be like, going over like content, features. It's gonna have sketches, game reviews, music parodies. Fans have a chance to win items and stuff from the G4 Reddit community. I think this is just them hyping it up, essentially.
They're muscling in on our territory, is what I hear.
Yeah, who's got to run Kevin Pereira over? I'm sorry, Kevin. I like you, bro, but gotta run you over now. I'm sorry. Crap. They have Olivia Munn, and if she's still there, we're screwed. Wait, can we just call?
You're clearly as hot as she is.
Yes. I mean, I don't know who got insulted in that one. I really don't. I'm like, is she insulted or am I insulted? Wait a minute.
No.
Well,
I mean,
what's that?
If anyone's being insulted, it's not you.
Yes. Well, I mean, technically, she dated me. You know that. She dated Aaron.
Correct.
So yeah. I'm good, right? Because, I mean, she dated Aaron. So can I just claim that?
So all Aarons are the same now? You done messed up, A.A. Ron.
yeah, everyone puts us in that category, so why not? Might as well just play off of it. Thank you, Aaron Rodgers. But, because it was Aaron Rodgers she dated for a little while. Right, because he's the Green Bay Packers quarterback?
Correct.
Yes, I knew something football related.
How about that? So, but only because he dated a geek.
Yeah, that is true. I know that, and that's it. Only because he dated Olivia Munn, and I think she's cute. And I'm like, yeah, you dated Olivia Munn. All right, cool. So she dated Aaron, so she dated me. Thank you. Thank you, Aaron. But yeah, so I don't know exactly who. I don't think she's coming back. I haven't seen anything saying that Olivia Munn's coming back.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
I'm sure Kevin Pereira. I'm wondering, the only other one I'm wondering is Chris Hardwick, because he did start off on G4, but I haven't heard anything. But he does other shows. He does the Talking Dead, and he does The Wall. So I just don't know if he's gonna be too busy. I
can imagine he's probably not coming back.
Yeah, I think he's kind of like moved on past that. He is a huge geek and bowling nerd, but it's like I don't know if you even have time, man. Like, do you have time to go do all that with your other shows and doing everything else that's going on with you? So I don't know. I'm excited for G4 to come back. I need them off YouTube because that's our territory. Please get off YouTube and go back to TV. You can have cable. It's fine. We don't care. So that was, I don't know. I think it's exciting. And then of course, to stick into that gaming genre, that gaming news, Kevin Hart, which see, look, I can say one name. Kevin, I can say your name, man. And that's only because it also sounds like Kevin Smith. So I'm sorry. That's how I remember things. So,
yeah. Okay.
Kevin Hart is joining the gaming movie world, I guess. With his, they are making an adaptation of Borderlands, which is a video game that came out about 2010, I believe, is the first interaction or interpretation of it. That game came out. It's a 4-player co-op game. You have to find the vault, make riches, murder everybody along the way, essentially, is what you're doing.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't really know much about this, but it's kind of an ensemble, kind of, it's not a single player, like you're not just following one
Correct.
character, there's a group of characters. So I think this is, something he's already done, like the 2 newest Jumanji movies are kind of, like he's in those, and it's like that group in a pseudo video game type environment where they're doing missions and things like that. So it feels like he's a solid fit for this without knowing much about the game, because I don't. And clearly, I mean, I can't imagine he's going to be anything other than some sort of comic relief type character. But maybe he's going to take that turn that a lot of comedians do, where they'll give you something more dramatic or something, like, I mean, whether it's, Robin Williams or Jim Carrey or, like there's been those type of comedians who then turn and give you, dramatic roles. So maybe this is that turn for Kevin Hart, but we haven't seen it yet. Up to this point, everything I've ever seen from him has been in the comedy world.
Exactly. And that's why I'm kind of interested in it, because you're right. It's a 4-player up to 4 players can play at once. So you go online, you can call your buddies up, and there's different characters. There's a siren. In the first one, you kind of have like your brawler. You have a siren, who's kind of like someone who kind of has little mystical powers. You have like a medic class, and then you have a sniper class. The character he's going to be playing, or from what everything's shown, is Roland, who is kind of the support class. He has his special ability. He can throw out a turret, and you can, depending what you do with that turret, you can make it more aggressive to where it like kills people more, or you can make it more passive where it heals everybody. And you're playing a support character. You're not the heavy hitter like your brawler. You're not the sniper like the other. I forgot the guy's name off the top of my head. And you're not the big siren girl who has magical powers. You're not the mage. You're just, I can make everyone else better. I can maybe do some damage, but I can also heal everybody. The character is a soldier, though, so he is a little bit more of a serious role. So I don't know if they're going to make him more of a comedy kind of role for Kevin Hart, or like you said, is Kevin Hart going to try to cross over and do more of the, okay, I got to be serious. Now, Roland is a bit of a smartass, so that fits Kevin Hart perfectly to me. So if you add that little part, but maybe make him a little more serious, Kevin could do it. My whole thing is, and I'm not trying to make fun of Kevin Hart, Roland is supposed to be 5'11". Yeah. I don't know how tall Kevin Hart is, but Roland's about, my height. We're about 6, he's about 6 feet, 5'11". Kevin Hart's like what, 5'5", 5'1"?
Yeah, I mean,
and Roland's
Tom Cruise is short too, and he played
true.
Jack Reacher, who's supposed to be like a giant of a man, and so Hollywood doesn't really care. And honestly, I don't care either. Like if you can play the part, I don't care how tall you are. Like they've used his height as jokes in like something like Jumanji, where he's offset with The Rock. But there's a lot of tricks they can pull to make him seem not so short, or that could be a running gag that they use. So we'll see what happens.
I'll be excited to see what they do with that. So check it out, guys. I mean, again, they're still making news with that one. Nothing started yet. Nothing has even come about of it. It's just been him and, let me see if I can pronounce his name but not butcher it. Blanchett. I forgot her. I don't know how you say names. How do you all say names?
How do you say
Kate
names?
Blanchett, right? Kate
Blanchett. Is she in this movie too?
Yeah, she's gonna be in it. She's playing the siren.
That's crazy.
Yeah, is that what I say? So I'm saying her name right? Blanchett.
Yes.
Okay, cool. See, I got a name right.
Sorry, we have a new star on the show.
Oh, a new puppy. So for those who are on our podcast, we're all at home right now since I am in self-quarantine after being at a premiere. So, but yeah, Kate Blanchett is attached as Lilith in this one. So Kevin Hart. So they're getting some big roles. It's actually will be directed by Eli Roth too.
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay, I don't know who he is. So
he's more famous as like a horror director, but he's
Ooh.
also an actor. Like he was in Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, he was the bear Jew, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, I just saw a picture of him, and I'm like, okay, I know who he is now.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, good actor. I liked him. So moving on. So, sticking with movie news. Let's go with movie news. So Tim Drake was casted in the season 3 of Titans. Well,
yeah,
there's a character, or he's the character, and an actor was already hired. That's named as he's a Lycan. By the way, he's a werewolf, which that means because of his last name, he's a Lycan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Robert
what
take
is it?
over.
Jay Lysirgu? Or no, wait. I think I just lost it. I had it pulled up on my phone, and then it just my phone said no.
He's hiding.
I wanted to change this.
He's trying to hide what he is. He's a Lycan, and he knows it.
Yeah, so I want to try and get this right. Jay Lysirgu, I believe is his name. I will be honest. I have not watched Titans. And now that it's on HBO Max instead of like the DC universe, I might give it a try. But I have not watched it. I'm not familiar with this actor. And honestly, I'm not like, as much as Batman is my guy, I don't think I like really any Robins. So yeah. Tim Drake might be the best one. But I don't know. We'll see. And if I decide to get on board with this show, I think we'll see what happens. But yeah, I have not watched the show, so I can't really say whether or not I'm excited for this edition.
Yeah. No, and I started watching it. I've watched the first couple episodes. It is very different than any comic adaptations. We're getting a darker Robin in Dick Grayson, one who doesn't mind killing at all.
Which is very weird.
Yeah, because Dick Grayson to me is even almost more about not killing than Batman. Because the Batman, let's face it, when he first came out, he killed. Robin, when he first came out, he really hasn't killed anybody. At least not Dick Grayson. I mean, we got Damian Wayne, who's killed some people. But yeah, so when our first interaction with Tim Drake, he's murdering people left and right. I do like the suit. I will say that. I like how he has the R's, and they are his little throwing stars, essentially, and they're built into the suit that he can just push and throw them out. I like how Raven is portrayed. Starfire, I wasn't liking how she was. And not the whole actress thing and, the color and all that. I don't like the way they wrote the character. Beast Boy, I kind of liked how they did him. I feel they did him justice. But yeah, overall, I'm just kind of like, on the series. I'm going to try to finish all of it so I can watch this season 3 because I love Tim Drake. Tim Drake's probably one of my favorite Robins. So I'm interested on how this guy will take it. Again, I don't know the actor. We both know I'm not good at remembering actors' names and stuff like that. So
yeah, and I'm just he's not someone that I recall seeing in anything else.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. He is supposedly in the upcoming The Batman film, but we don't know if he's playing the same character. Like he could be somebody totally different in that because we don't know I don't think that's going to be connected to Titans.
No, because they already had their Batman in this one. I think they mentioned who he was, or they showed a picture of him or something. So it's not Robert Pattinson. So it's out. I think Deathstroke. I don't know if Deathstroke's come out yet. I can't remember. I know they already brought out Trigon. So I was like, eh. So, that pretty much covers all of that. So the last bit is GameStop somehow is in the news for the last week and a half, right? Or something like a week now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like we should talk about this just because it's totally, it's geeky. It is political also. Yeah. So if you're, you don't, maybe you've been following it. Maybe you don't want to hear us talk about it. You don't have to.
We can end here because this is gonna be our last topic. So,
but yeah, I mean, there was basically what happened. At least my understanding of it is that GameStop was in trouble financially, and something that happens a lot on Wall Street is companies that look like they're going to fail basically get taken advantage of by some Wall Street investors, where they'll actually make their stock look even worse and accelerate their decline and then make a profit off of doing that. Right. And so what happened was they were doing that with GameStop, and then there was a Reddit thread that kind of exploded and caused a lot of people to actually turn around and invest in GameStop while that was going on. And they kind of flipped it on its head. And instead of those investors making a profit off of GameStop failing, what they did is they raised GameStop stock up and caused that investor to actually lose a lot of money rather than GameStop. And these small time investors, these people that were investing just a small amount of money, were actually the ones that started seeing a major profit. And it turned into this whole big fiasco with like Robinhood, which is where they were actually doing the trading, kind of actually stepped in and told people they couldn't trade GameStop stocks anymore. It started happening with like AMC and a few other companies as well. And then both Republicans and Democrats were coming down saying Robinhood was basically doing illegal practices by not letting, just regular people, do trades and investments and things like that. And so it's turned into this huge thing where, it's kind of pitting Wall Street investors versus the common man, and the common man kind of finally got a leg up and said, we're going to take you down. And then Wall Street pushed back very hard.
They did so they cost a hedge fund, which was the one who was doing all this, about $13 billion. They said to the point where they were looking at filing bankruptcy. I don't know if they ever actually did file the bankruptcy, but
I don't know.
The way I understand it too, and to make it as layman's as possible, because I don't know a whole lot on stock trading. From what I understand, these people basically, they go to other people and say, hey, can I borrow your shares of GameStop? And they're like, yeah, sure. So they borrow it. And what they do is they sell it at whatever the current price is. So say $10, they sell it. Then when this, like you said, the stock drops, so let's say to $5, they buy it back. And then they technically make a $5 profit because they only spent $5 now. And then they give it back to you at now this lower cost. And like you said, people were noticing. Some Reddit user who was in the Wall Street game saw it, posted, hey, let's screw them over. And essentially everyone's buying. So now you're raising the stock prices and they have to buy it at whatever the current price is. So they ended up having to buy it at the higher rate and lost money. And GameStop looks like they're doing good all of a sudden for like a whole 10 minutes. It's like, oh my God, GameStop's worth something again. And I loved where this went because, like you said, it's a David versus Goliath kind of thing. They stopped trading for the first 10 minutes the next day to slow it down so that way the bigger people could do what they had to do. And then it was taken off Robinhood. And it wasn't just taking off Robinhood. Robinhood was just the one in the spotlight. It was taking off other ones too, these other small ones like these. Yeah. I like to call them how should I put it? The amateur trading stock stuff. Because these are all for like the everyday, there you go, everyday man stuff. Like, oh, I go on Robinhood and trade and I'm an investor now. No, you're really not. You're just an everyday man. But you do invest. You're just not at the $1 million level like some of these other people are. Sure. You're at the $100 level or $1,000 level. Like I know a guy. What's up?
I know. I was just saying. I mean, it's in theory, these are sites that are designed to help the layperson who doesn't do this all the time.
Exactly.
It allows them to, kind of get in the game a little bit, but then when too many people were doing it and taking advantage of it and all of a sudden, things were flipping on their heads, it was like, oh, wait, stop. That's not what we meant.
Exactly. We didn't mean all of you to get rich. We just wanted to get richer is what we meant.
Yeah.
And I love how all these memes have come out. I think one of my favorite ones, here, the government, here's $600. What am I supposed to do it? Well, I guess go invest it or something. Okay, fine. I'll go invest it. Wait, no, don't do that.
Not like that. Yeah. Well, and there's been a good number of GameStop memes because of course, that's been famously, it's like, kind of mixed with the Pawn Stars, where it's like, I've got 30 brand new games. Best I can do is $5, which is obviously GameStop is famous for totally not giving you value on anything buying back. And so it's kind of flipping on its head that now, these people that have probably been upset at GameStop for years because they haven't been giving them fair value are the ones that are buying the stock and actually causing this to flip on the head and messing with GameStop value and all that stuff. So it's been funny as well as it is something that it looks like there's been outrage on both sides from Republicans and Democrats against these hedge funds and these companies that are kind of not allowing free trade, if you will.
Exactly.
And so it's possible that we could actually see some legislation that comes out of this
I hope so.
that actually protects the consumers a little bit better.
Exactly.
So we'll see what happens.
There's that gray line that
it's
riding.
a little bit like what these hedge funds do, where they see a company in trouble and then they undercut it to try and accelerate that and make a profit off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Is definitely morally, you're like, wow, that's
area.
really terrible.
Yeah.
And it's not illegal, but they were trying to do that. They got it flipped on their head. So I don't feel bad at all for the hedge funders and all that stuff. And it's one of those things where, again, if some legislation comes out of this that says, hey, this short selling practice that you do, we're not going to let you do it anymore, and we're going to make that illegal. I'll be fine with that.
Exactly.
Sometimes they just, and it even gets highlighted in some certain movies and stuff. Sometimes they just like pick a company out of a hat and just go, we're going to make this company fail today. And it's like,
yeah, exactly.
That's terrible.
Exactly. It's like, what did I do to you? I'm just here. So, some good stuff that has come out of it. One man made $82,000 out of this because he bought it at the lower end, and once it skyrocketed and they had to buy the stock back, well, quick $82,000 for that guy. So good for you. I hope you invest that in something else, or I hope you needed it.
Reinvest it.
Right, reinvest this. I hope people like that needed money, especially with the economy right now. I hope people that needed it, that maybe had some of this money out there that they were able to use to just try to make some more money. I hope all of you succeeded in getting something out of this. And like you said, I hope something with legislation comes out to stop this practice, because you literally, I'm sure if this would have not gone this way, GameStop would have been under in a few more months. They are heading that route, but like you said, this would have expedited it. It would have gone under even quicker. And, now you're putting more people out of jobs that are already in a bad market as it is right now. So it's like, come on, guys, let's be nicer to people just a little bit.
Yeah, that's not the capitalistic way.
No, we need Captain America. Where is he? So you can go punch people in the face. That's all I need. I just need him to come around and just punch people in the face. That's it. So I think we'll end on that note. I know that was like a little more political and stocky-ish, but it was, like you said, it was still GameStop, so it was still geeky. And
I felt like it was a geeky enough story that we should talk about it.
Exactly. And I got to say Kate Blanchett today and learn a new name that I can pronounce somehow. So sort of. So yeah, guys, that'll be it. So make sure all week long we have videos coming out Monday through Thursdays, reviews, segments, news. Go check all those out on our YouTube channel, Official GYGO. Like Robert said, go to our Facebook group, Official GYGO. We talk about anything on there, news topics, memes, jokes, geeky questions, just fun with polls. If you're on our podcast, thank you for listening. We really appreciate everybody here. And thank you for being with us today. And again, go check out everything else. For Aaron, Robert, get your geek on. Stay geeky, guys.
Bye.